Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Words of Heart podcast. I am your host, Dion Sanchez, and in this episode, I will be sharing one of my latest poems. For those of you who have been hardcore listeners, you must be familiar with the first season of my podcast, Words of Heart. If you can recall, in the first season of my podcast, I would share bits and pieces of my poetry in the beginning of each and every single episode, and then explain the emotional meaning behind it. And that would be the cohesive theme for the entirety of the episode. So a few days ago, I made a poll sharing that I wrote another poem. Should I do a podcast episode about it? And surprisingly enough, people answered, yeah, you should do an episode about your latest poem. What are you waiting for? I'm like, okay. So why the heck not? After all, I have a way with words, so it's only right to share it. So you guys responded, and here's the answer. I'm doing an episode about my latest poem. So I am going to share it with you now. This latest poem is called Trapped. Closed the door, yet remains unlocked. Walls enclosing me. Therefore, enforcing isolation from the world. Windows leaving visions of exploration. Yet, with each turn of the knob, is an invitation or intrusion. Perhaps the doorway bridges the gap between being trapped and being liberated. So, oh man, it's hard to believe how many poems I've written at this point. But yes, that is my latest poem called Trapped. And my thought and my whole meaning behind that poem is pretty simple. In life, we have a tendency to be trapped when it comes to our emotions. We have a hard time deciphering what's good for us versus what's bad for us. Like let's say you're flourishing and you're doing great, yet something from your past reeks its ugly head or reeks back into your life. Now, do you accept that? Why are they coming back into my life? It must be for a reason. Is it an invitation such as my poem indicated, or is it an intrusion? We go back and forth when it comes to our emotions. It's a battle. We hold on to things that we should let go. We need to, in order to grow and to flourish, we need to move on. We need to evolve. Yet it's ingrained in us as humans to be stubborn. And I can be really stubborn, trust me. Like, why do we put ourselves through these roller coaster of emotions? Because we're human. And if you're an optimist like myself, you have a hard time letting go of things. Like, every person or experience you come across in your life happens for a reason. And in order to evolve and grow as a human, you can't hold on to those things. It's good to reflect and see how you can do better in order to grow, but you can't hold on to it. You have to let go. Yet again, this is where emotions tend to do a tango or waltz, if you will. Should I allow this person back into my life? Will it be different? Will it be worse? Why am I putting myself in this predicament to have to decide? Because we do put ourselves in predicaments where we have to either listen to our hearts or our minds. It's rarely ever both when you think about it, because our mind and our hearts are completely two different things. Our hearts are emotional, not rational, not logical. More oftentimes than not, when it comes to our hearts, it's very impulsive. And yet our minds, it's logical, it's rational, it's not emotional, it's objective. To quote Spock, we try to be very logical. Emotions have no bias when it comes to Vulcan logic. Yet we are not Vulcans. We are humans. We have logic and we also have our emotions. And if you can figure out a formula to navigate emotions with logic and for them to merge into like a mind meld, please inform me. Let me know, because as far as I'm concerned, there's no indicator as to how to merge the two, logic and emotions. They toss it out, they tango, but only one person can lead in a dance. Either you're the follower or you're the leader. So why do we put ourselves in these situations or scenarios for our emotions to be trapped? We're human. Everything isn't simple and easy and cookie cutter. I, for one, have put myself in a predicament because I'm an optimist and a romantic, and I believe the good in things, and yet there's no easy answer to decipher why we put ourselves through this. In order to grow and to move on, we need to let go, but we don't let go, do we? We don't let go easily. Again, just like in my poem, it's either an invitation for something new or an intrusion. It's one or the other. Sometimes it can be a good thing, bringing someone back into your life, or it could be a bad thing. You never really know until you're faced with it. For me, I am talking to someone who should be left alone, who was a part of my past, and yet we are reconnecting. I don't know why or the outcome of what's to happen. Again, our emotions are trapped. And there's no easy or concrete battle plan as to how to navigate it. All I can tell you is to pray, reflect, and think. Unfortunately, when it comes to our emotions, we have to add some type of logic to it. Because what you think is good for you may not necessarily be the case. And at the end of the day, no matter the experience or the person, it all comes down to a choice. You have to make that choice. And the thing about choices is those choices have a downward effect into your future. A downward effect into your future. So think about your moment. Think about where you're at right now when it comes to your emotions, logic, Vulcan, Star Trek, the whole nine. But in all seriousness, where are you at with your emotions right now? Are you putting yourself first when it comes to your emotions? I know for me, I like to put others' feelings first, which puts me in a situation to easily get hurt and taken advantage of and manipulated. Yet I am who I am. So I am telling you, from someone who has a tendency to be very in tune with her emotions as an empathetic person, are you putting yourself first? Are you putting yourself first? Are you giving yourself the opportunity for something new and to grow? I can't tell you what may come your way. I can't stop you from reconnecting with a part of your past. I can't stop you. Just like I can't stop myself from reconnecting with someone from my past. What happens in your life is undecided. However, again, it all comes down to a choice. Our emotions are going to be always in a battle. They're always going to be in a battle. However, it's how you control them is what matters. Again, it all comes down to a choice. So will you accept new opportunities coming your way? Will you invite the opportunities to help you grow? Or will you allow things from your past to affect you, to invade, to consume you? Again, it can be an invitation or it can be an intrusion. However, at the end of the day, it's for you to decide, is this an invitation or is it an intrusion upon your life? Because at the end of the day, it's your life that matters. Nobody can decide your life for you. Trust me, I wish somebody can decide my life, but I'm a grown adult. I don't have that luxury, and neither do you. So again, I hope you enjoyed this latest episode of my poem called Trapped. It's really, really simple. We can be trapped in our emotions, especially with this pandemic season being enforced into isolation. Though I will give you this, things are relatively coming back to some type of reality of normal or some version of normal. I don't know which type of normal because things are still unfortunate with this virus going around. But again, this season, no matter what the season is, we're all put in a scenario where we're forced to confront our emotions and battle them till the death. Which will win, logic or emotions? I can't tell you. But what I can tell you is up for you to decide. What's the outcome going to be? Who's going to be the victor? It all comes down to a choice. Anyhow, I'm going to wrap up this episode. Again, thank you for listening to my latest poem. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it resonated with you. I hope you can understand the emotional meaning behind it because, after all, my podcast is called Words of Heart for a reason. I'm good with words. Words hold meaning. Words have power and emotions. And I just hope on some level you can understand the poem through your own lens or through your own experiences. So, again, I am your host, Dion Sanchez. If you enjoyed this episode, please let me know on the following platforms. You can follow us at Words of Heart Podcast on Facebook. You can also follow us on YouTube under the same name and wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, and Google. Also, it has come to my attention that you can now leave ratings on Spotify podcast for those of you who listen to this on Spotify. So please feel free to leave a rating on Spotify or Apple or wherever you listen to your podcast that accepts ratings or reviews. Again, share it, send it, retweet it. If you could send it to the moon, please let me know because I still think listening to it from the moon would be awesome. So again, I hope you enjoyed this episode and feel free to reach out to me on any level or anything of any sarcasm mumbling here. Feel free to reach out to me on anything on any day. Again, I never sleep, so it's pretty easy to get in touch with me. But here are a simpler way to do that. You can find me on Instagram at HeartWarrior24. You can find me on Instagram at HeartWarrior25, and you can find me on Twitter at HeartWarrior24. So again, to all my listeners, stay healthy, stay safe. Again, emotions are not easy. They're not supposed to be easy, but at the end of the day, it's all matters to what you decide. So stay healthy, stay safe, and if I don't hear from you before the holiday season, happy holidays, and until next time. Bye.